Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the IORK Podcast, your go-to hub for everything IORK and rental go-kart racing. My name is Tom, I'm your host today, and joined with me as co-host and founder of IORK, Nick Fowler. In this episode, we're going to be talking about our teams event. Normally, our teams event is held at the end of IORK each weekend, and it's always very popular because it brings everyone that's competing against each other together. You know, new friendships have been formed, and people put a team together and they end up doing a 200-lap race, trophies included, and it ends up being a really fun, cool event. Everyone has a blast doing it. This year, we've changed it up a bit. It's starting to form its own identity, and we want to pursue that. So we thought we'd deep dive into what's coming this year for the teams event, so you guys know what to expect, and perhaps a little bit more informed. So run us through what is the team composition for the enduro.
Okay, so this year the event this year, it's going to be a longer duration, so it's 2.5 hours. There is a minimum weight limit on every team. So the team's based on 3 drivers.
Yep.
The 3 drivers must weigh a combined weight of 245 kilos, or a certain driver or multiple drivers have to carry weight to be within the weight range.
Yeah.
Once they're weighed, so you can have more than 2 drivers. You can have up to 5 drivers in your team. If you have a 4th and 5th driver, so I'll give you an example. We've got driver 1, driver 2, and driver 3.
Yeah.
Your 4th driver might be a couple of kilos heavier than driver 2, so they'll be driver 2B.
Yep.
They share the stints. Each driver has to do 45 minutes minimum, or each driver or pair of drivers have to do 45 minutes minimum.
Yep.
And they share those stints together if that's the way they want to do it. Same with if you have a 5th driver, then that's the same thing goes there.
Yep.
So each pair or single have to do 45 minutes minimum over the race, over how many stints they do. Each team will have each lot of drivers will have wristbands after the weigh-in, and they'll be given a number. When you come through the pits, we'll be taking a checklist, a card, and submitting your times on pit entry.
Yep.
So we can measure your time, and then to make sure that everyone's complying to those rules.
Yeah. So if you were to have a pair, so you have driver 1 and then driver 1A, driver 1B. Driver 1B has to be equal or greater in weight to the original driver.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So obviously your paired driver, you want them to probably be paired with the person closer in weight to them. If they do have the only reason we've brought this rule in is because we get a lot of teams that just want to compete in the race, or just want to be a part of the race. They want to spread the cost out, so we want to keep them included in the race.
Yeah.
The serious teams, I think, are more likely going to be teams of 3.
Yeah.
And moving forward, it might only be teams of 3 moving forward, but for this year, we're going to make it up to 5 drivers in a team, and that's how we do it. So obviously, you get to the point where you've all done your 45 minutes stints. You might have done 46, and 47, and you've got about 12 minutes left, and then you can potentially put your fastest driver out to do those maximum laps, or you can share it between a couple in your stints. It's completely up to you.
So the stint is the combined total of the driving, and that's also broken up into shorter stints. How many driver changes does the team need to do?
Okay, so during the race, keep in mind these rules are pending at the moment, so we may still have a few little changes. We're running them through and trying to put scenarios in place to make sure we get everything as right as we can. But at this stage, we're working on 11 driver changes. Yep. Which means some drivers will have to do 4 stints, for example. Some will do 3 stints. That's completely up to you, as long as your combined stints with you or you and your peer is over the 45-minute mark.
That's great. Is there any difference in penalties compared to the rest of the weekend with the racing rules on track?
Yeah, so we're bringing in a penalty for this event here, so first thing we're doing is pit stops will be timed.
Okay.
So we're going to keep the pit lights in the pits just to even things out a bit more and make it on a fairer playing ground.
Yep.
We get some drivers that are ultra fast at doing driver changes, but we're compromising the safety factor, and we also want to make the racing on the track more than in the pits. So we're going to have a timed pit stop. If you get a infringement on the track, you'll have 2 laps to pit.
Yeah.
So that'll change your stint time. It means you're going to have to do a longer stint later, or you could cost yourself or your team later. And after a certain amount of penalties, you'll start getting extra time added to your pit time. So that's how we're going to penalise you. So we haven't agreed on how many penalties you get before you get time added, but straight away when you get an infringement, you'll get a card held up that you've got 2 laps to pit. If you're not pitted in within 2 laps, your card will be slowed right down. If you cause extra carnage between that time, then you'll instantly have a time penalty put on your pit stop.
Yeah.
So that'll be immediately done. So you just basically you have a card held up at you. You need to get out of the way and get off the track as quick as possible.
Yeah, and I suppose that kind of takes out the tension that's happening on the track at that time. You know, the driver has been pulled off, they're pulled out of the pack, no further damage can be done, or they can't take advantage or disadvantage any other drivers as well. They don't stay out there.
Yeah. So if someone's being a pest and they've got a different motive to everyone else on the track, then we're just removing them from that, and hopefully before they go out again, they'll sort themselves out. Otherwise, we'll just remove them from the event.
Yeah. Right. Something that we're doing a little bit different is the kart draw of this. The way that we draw the karts for the teams. So run us through that. Yeah.
So Tom's going to announce a ticket sale date soon, but basically what's going to happen, kart draw is done on entry, so the first person to enter gets first kart draw. What we're going to do is we're going to pick out our, if you've watched the previous episode, you'll know how we're working with our kart parity. So we're going to pick out our best, let's say we've got 14 teams in the event or 12 teams in the event. We're going to pick out our best 12 or 14 karts, whatever the number is, and we're going to put them seated in a line, and the first 4 karts are going to be dropped. We're going to drop 4 marbles into a hat, and the first 4 karts will be kart A, B, and C. A, B, C, and D, and the first person to enter, first team to enter IORK will get to draw A, B, C, or D. If they don't like A, B, C, and D, they can sit that round out, and the second team get to draw, and they can drop back in round 2. When the first kart gets pulled out of the hat and it's kart B, the next kart in the line becomes kart B, and then we go back into the hat again and we start drawing again. So what we're trying to do is give you an advantage. This earlier you book, the advantage is you get potentially a better kart draw, or you get more options on the karts you want to have. Obviously, we're going to try and eliminate that as much as possible with kart parity, but there's always favoured karts no matter what events you're in. There's always people that have their preferred kart, or there's a group of 3 years and you love kart 7 more than you love kart 6.
Lucky number 13.
So you get the choice to draw more chance of drawing the kart you want.
Yeah.
But,
and we've also shrunken the random pool. So, you know, if there is one particular kart that's falling off towards the end of the weekend, it's not going to be right at the front. So if you're not the first, you won't be the first team and you won't draw the lemon, Yeah,
well, hopefully that kart won't be included at all.
Yeah.
If that is the case. But yeah, the whole vision of this is to give the early entries, the loyal customers first pick, and then we work down the pot from there.
So the date we're setting for that is July the 7th to celebrate 100 days out from IORK. So set that in your calendars if you wish to partake in the teams event. How are we going about the qualifying? Are we going to do any qualifying for the teams?
Yeah, so at this stage, what we're thinking about doing is having a 5-minute qualifying session before the event. We may do a shootout as well for like the top 6 drivers or something like that, but it's all going to come down to how we can manage our time, because on the Sunday when we run this event, we've always got people that have got planes to catch and so on. So we just want to look at that further before we announce that, if that happens. But at this stage, we're looking at a 5-minute qualifying session at the start of the event, fastest driver off the front, so on. And you'll obviously have to wear your weight if you got weight, so you can put your lightest driver or you can put your fastest driver in there, but they have to be complying to the rules for the rest of the race.
Yeah, should be good. So the original race, or the race length that we've decided for now, granted it's pending, is 2.5 hours, 150 minutes. It's a lot of racing involved, on top of already a large weekend of racing as well.
Yeah, so usually the race has been 200 laps. 200 laps here is probably about an hour 40.
Yeah.
An hour 35, hour 40. So it's quite a bit longer. But we want it to be a real endurance race. If it's going to be a real title, it's got to be a real race.
So if you're not sore by the start of the team's event, you're probably going to be feeling it.
You'll be feeling it
at the end of the team's event, maybe snoozing on the plane on your way home.
Yeah.
Now, with the racing rules, are they much the sameness with the main IORK event?
Yeah, so most of the rules are pretty much the same as IORK. We've got, yellow lights. You can put on a yellow light. Red lights will be returning to the pits and then doing a rolling start. You cannot do a driver change on a red light. You will not be able to, no one will be able to enter the pit area on a red light. So when there's a red light, support people have to stay out of that area.
Yep.
So the pits will be closed for support crew or other drivers. The other rules, most of the other rules all apply to this event. Yeah.
Yeah. If a team has come in and while they're in the pit lane, the red light rule, can they do that? Can they finish their change?
So if a team comes into the pits prior to the red light coming on, then they'll be able to complete their change, and then they'll sink back out into the pack and then come back in the following lap for their compulsory red light. However, so if they were to pit after the red lights come on, we've got cameras set up so we can see when the red light comes on and a time sync with other cameras. So we'll be able to see that they've pitted after the red light, and then that pit stop will not be counted. The other driver will have to get back into the kart, and they'll be synced back at the back of the field, so they'll lose track position.
Right.
And they'll still have to complete that change at a later date.
And that wraps up everything for the team's event. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you for your ongoing support. If you have any questions at all, you can drop them in the comments below. Otherwise, we will see you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks a lot.